the Badger Politic. I'm Scott Stearns.
Yeah, this is Paul Sickler. Welcome to the Frozen Pipes edition.
Hey, Paul.
Badger Politics.
Happy winter.
Happy winter. I hope none of you do have frozen pipes out there.
It's pretty brutal out there in the Midwest. So since we last talked, the Marquette poll numbers have come out. I know we teased these a little bit in our previous recordings. So what do we make
the
of
state of Wisconsin?
Yeah,
the state of the state.
The state of the state.
Well, since there was no government shutdown in Wisconsin,
Not here, right?
the public has a fairly good view of their local officials right now.
Yeah.
Including that of Tony Evers.
That's good.
Yeah, Governor Evers comes in with pretty nice plus 17 approval rating.
Okay.
Over disapproval.
Yeah.
39 to 22.
That's good. That's a good place to start, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of people who don't really know, which is not uncommon. It's very uncommon in Wisconsin, but it's not uncommon nationally for a governor to be fairly unknown.
Yeah. Well, obviously, we kind of speculated going in that it wasn't going to be as polarized of a poll that has panned out based on numbers we're seeing.
Walker was a very polarizing figure. Evers is not.
Yes.
And so people seem pretty pleased with them and very supportive of a lot of its key agenda points, mostly around the Affordable Care Act.
Yes, healthcare-related stuff.
Right. So, and actually pretty supportive on education as well.
Yeah.
But
that's his bread and butter, right?
Biggest takeaway is Walker made a mistake when he didn't expand Medicaid under the Affordable Care Act, otherwise known as Obamacare.
Majority favor taking Medicaid expansion and getting out of the lawsuit against the Affordable Care Act.
Right. That one's a little closer, actually. It was 62% want to accept the Medicaid.
Yeah, makes sense.
Only 25% want to not do it. That's pretty overwhelming. And the Republicans have just kind of rallied behind it. They tried to pass restrictions on it during the lame duck bill.
Right.
They're on the wrong side of public opinion.
They are, but they're banking on the fact that they are advantaged by the gerrymandered districts right now. So
this sample still appears to be a little bit more Republican biased than its historical average, especially for the registered voter sample. A Marquette poll showed Evers and Walker tied, but they actually had Walker up a couple points.
They did.
I think on the registered voter. So if you accept that as now that we're going back to that same metric because we're post-election, what it tells you is that this poll is just a little bit skewed toward the Republican side. Charles Franklin, who does the poll, would probably be the first to admit it at this point. That's what he's catching. Those are the people responding for whatever reason. And there's really good reasons to not try to control for it, but if you are interested in splitting hairs, you could probably argue all of the numbers are probably a little bit more toward the Democratic side, somewhere between 3 and 5 percentage points on the margins.
Okay.
So, like, for instance, Trump has a 52% disapproval rating, a 44% approval rating.
In the state.
In the state. It's more likely that it's probably 42% approve and 54% disapprove.
I mean, that's bad. I mean,
it's
really
bad, but it's better than the national average significantly.
It really does not bode well for his re-election chances, at least here in the state of Wisconsin, in a couple years.
Yeah, but he's doing a lot better than he is nationally.
This is a state that he needs to win.
Yeah, I don't think that jives with what the actual make up the electorate really does look like, is what I'm saying. I'm saying he probably is more like 12, even maybe 15 points underwater in Wisconsin, not 8.
Yeah.
As the poll says. One thing the poll does capture is the intensity, kind of pivoting already to national stuff, and it was, does honest describe Trump? 62% no, and 31% yes.
Okay.
Has Trump changed the Republican Party for the better or the worse? For the better, 28%. For the worse, 47%. He definitely will get the votes of 27% of this sample.
Okay.
And he definitely will not get the votes of 49%.
That's a problem.
And this is a sample that we already think is probably skewed a little Republican. So that would actually mean of the electorate, it looks like he's definitely not going to get the majority of Wisconsin. If you add in the leaners, it looks like he would be down 57-39.
So I'll pivot briefly. Trump is actively encouraging, via trolling on Twitter, Howard Schultz to run for president.
With Starbucks?
The ex-Starbucks CEO, because he understands that if somebody like Howard Schultz runs as an independent and then, whoever is the Democratic nominee Bernie Sanders or Kamala Harris or whoever it is. They split the vote, and then that's his means to an end. Mm-hmm. So other stuff, I mean, last time we recorded, we were on the eve of the shutdown ending. Last Friday, the shutdown officially ended, the bill was signed, and federal workers went back
Did you see it coming, or did you...
Trump tried to paint this as if there was a quote-unquote deal. There was no deal.
Yeah.
There was no deal.
Pelosi's, like, made such a name for herself in the last few weeks. She should fucking throw her hat in the ring for president. Watch out.
Obviously,
ageism will catch up to her, unfortunately, but yes.
But I think a lot of people have been re-educated on how skilled a politician Nancy Pelosi is.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
Because she owned him. That was the whole thing, I think, leading up to the Democrats retaking the House. There was this internal battle about whether or not Pelosi should remain Speaker. I never had any doubt that like she was the right person to take the gavel. And now I feel like people that were doubters, I think they've now realized like, oh yeah, experience is a good thing.
I'm going to be honest. You could put me in the category of somebody. I was a doubter.
In these times, you need an experienced person, and Nancy Pelosi just demonstrated why her experience matters.
When you think of how she got the Affordable Care Act passed,
exactly.
that was being reminded of that was the thing that made me think, well, you know, she should be the leader.
Yeah,
she should be the speaker.
You're right. I mean, and that was a pinnacle moment of the Obama presidency. That thing could have failed in the House because they didn't have the public option in there. The Senate passed their thing, and then it was up to the House because they didn't have the numbers in the Senate to modify it. And lo and behold, she got it done.
What I didn't like was how her whole leadership structure, not just her, like Hoyer was part of it too.
Right.
I really didn't like how they approached a lot of Democratic primaries in years past.
Okay.
You know, they were on the wrong side, but fortunately I don't think they spent too many resources. But that was the thing, they would spend resources like fighting candidates like AOC. That pissed me off. And
fair.
That was the kind of thing that I think made the 2010 losses worse than they needed to be, as well as made it impossible to regain any momentum. And in 2012 or 2016, the House could have been ours then. I mean, by a narrow margin.
I'm going to disagree with you on that front, for sure.
I mean, I'm not saying that we were right on the cusp, but...
No, we weren't. Not by
I think in 12, a little bit of imagination with the Obama coattails.
You're underestimating like how gerrymandered some of these districts are.
They're very gerrymandered. I'm just saying that...
If we had a fairer map...
Look,
then you might have a point.
It's so gerrymandered. They barely moved. Even in Wisconsin, they barely moved. Like nothing. Yeah. We won nothing
because we're one of the worst.
And they barely moved at all, and yet it was still more than enough to win 40 seats.
Yeah, but nothing changed. Nothing changed here, though.
Like for instance, you know what? It looks like they let seats on the table in California for years that we should have had. Part of the reason that we have a majority now is that Republicans are down to 8 seats.
They're
in California.
They're virtually extinct in California.
They had 20 coming into this thing.
Yeah.
They lost 12 seats in California.
Right.
How come they didn't lose at least 6 of them ahead of time? It's fucking California.
Because
it's fucking where she's from.
I know.
I mean let me get a little bit.
Shit has gotten a lot worse the last couple of years, Paul.
Okay, you'd look at the map, you'd see like New Jersey.
The stakes have been raised.
You'd see New Jersey, which wasn't a gerrymandered state because you had Chris Christie, and then you had a Democratic state house and state senate.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had fair maps there, and you'd look at like New Jersey with like 12 seats, and it'd be like 7 Dems and 5 Rs. Like, why wasn't it 8-4 or 9-3? It's New Jersey, you know. Come on.
Again, I think it's really a factor of what has taken place the last couple of years, and obviously without the Trump presidency, and it's probably a wild card about whether or not the Democrats would have taken as many House seats as they did this year.
I'm wrong. They wouldn't have won the House in 12 or 16. But
right.
I just feel like they were not that imaginative in their candidate recruitment and who they supported.
That's fair. So we've got basically an extension. We reopened the government for 3 weeks, and then in 3 weeks they have to obviously make a determination on whether or not they're going to pass something My prediction is we're not shutting down again because Trump realizes that is going to hemorrhage support amongst him.
It looks like he either does the emergency
He's going to do the
emergency
emergency. He is going to do the emergency powers thing, and then
I wouldn't
he's going to be challenged
if he does a deal.
He's going to be challenged in court on that because this is just how he operates.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if he wants to really follow the Reagan 83 trajectory, and I'll just point this out, that what you'd want to do is do a deal, because that's what Reagan did with Social Security, and he actually raised back a couple of the tax rates that he cut too far.
Not within his comprehension to do that.
I'm just saying it worked very well for their hero Reagan.
Yeah,
and they, Kudlow was totally trying to invoke that.
Yeah,
when he was on Fox News.
Seems to me like he tends not to listen to smart people.
The other thing is, I don't think that, by and large, I think Reagan took over at a time that really not because of Carter's making it all, but whatever it was a little bit more tumultuous.
There was some dire
economically, there were some rough times.
Yeah. We had inflation, and we had a lot of things going on.
Trump took over at a relatively decent time.
Yes.
And
taking credit for a lot of it.
And I think people will have a long enough memories that he won't benefit from any sort of like Reagan-like bounce because the economy is okay.
And as long as it is okay, he will continue to capitalize on that.
He will, but I don't think it's like he's going to get a lot of credit. I think the countries just will stay very 50-50.
Yeah.
That said, we got to make sure that 49% that definitely won't vote for Trump, make sure that they vote, and we got to find 2 more.
Yeah.
So in Wisconsin.
Right. So we'll see. We'll see where this thing goes. Like we said, there's 3-week extension on this thing, and then we'll see where it ends up.
We'll be a lot further along in the Supreme Court. The biggest takeaway, I guess, then from Marquette, I would say, is that Evers is broadly more popular and less polarizing than I predicted.
Yeah.
Or broadly less unpopular, anyway.
Right.
His agenda items are actually
popular,
very popular.
Yes.
Partly, probably boosted by the lame duck session a little bit, especially in the Medicaid expansion.
It probably
threatened to go there.
It probably gave some daylight to those issues that maybe it didn't have previously.
Yeah, and they have his favorable rating actually up at 41-24. So it's looking like a nice start for Governor Evers.
I think so.
So
could be worse.
We'll go from there. And next time we'll talk about the best Milwaukee awards in the Shepherd Express, but
probably not.
Just kidding. All right. Maybe we'll let Uncle Rick have Adam.
We should get Uncle Rick's take on global warming next time, considering that we're dealing with sub-zero temperatures right now in the Midwest.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait a second. I think I got an email forwarded from him earlier today.
It's probably all caps.
I'm gonna, you know what? Bring him back when it's over freezing and let him try to
once the flooding starts.
Yeah, it looks like the weather is going to rebound. Talk to him on Saturday.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Forward, everybody.
Forward.